but I've already hit something. Share your referral link. Okay, I don't want to do that. Make that go away. Oh shit. Oh, and I come right out of the gate cussing. Sorry. Can't see anybody's this is this has already started off as a cluster. I don't want to do that. It says share your referral link. I don't want to do that. Go away. Oh God, I did it. I don't know what that means. Oh, uh, I didn't want to do that. Oh well, I did it. Don't tap that link because I'm not sure what it is. I see 5 people peeking. Sergeant Blackrock was in here but went to watch another video. Somebody say something. I feel like I'm talking to myself. And I'm getting pretty good at that. Captain Avi, finally, Sin, hello, whatever, good morning. Cats rule, hello. Hey critters, Ninja Orchid, thank God. Hey Puss in Boots, hope you're doing okay. Nurse coming in soon, okay, good. I mean, hey Lurker, big, we'll just call it Pitbull. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I big BG. I can't say that too many times. So how's everybody doing? Happy Good Friday, which I'm going to have to brush up on my biblical stuff because Pitbull fan, yeah, I love all puppies. I think pit bulls get a bad rap. I really do. Um, everybody says, well, they're the only ones you hear of attacking people. That's right, they are. Because they don't print any other dog attacks, but whatever. Pit bulls get a bad rap. Irresponsible people. Oh, Bill. Oh, okay. Bill is so much easier. I think I'll go with Bill. But I do think pit bulls get a bad rap. Oh shit! Now my screen done went dark. I don't know what's happening here. It's a mess. It's a mess. Hello, Texas girl. So, like I said, good morning, happy Good Friday. Again, I'm gonna have to touch up on my biblical stuff because when I read the Bible, I don't remember that day being a good day. But I mean, wasn't that the day? I don't know. We won't go there because that'll get a little touchy. How's everybody been? I can honestly say that I don't know a lot about what's going on in our little corner of the world, our little corner of the internet, because there's so many that I just don't watch. I either haven't watched them in a very long time, and when I go back and try, I'm not interested, or I don't watch them. I see clip channels, I'll go ahead and say it. I've seen where some of Bombshells, like, oh, ride or dies have left her. Um, oh, right. It's the day he died for our sins. Right. Okay, that I agree with. So maybe we're supposed to fast till noon. Hey, go getter. Well, I'm doing okay because I haven't had anything to eat today, so I'm still good. I'm still on the good side of that. But like I said, I don't dabble in our little corner of YouTube too much because it's just old. It's stale. I have no, I did catch some clip channels and stuff where, uh, some people have left bomb support And that shit happens. That shit happens. I personally, I'm not on the inside, so I don't know anything. But sometimes you just get tired of somebody, or they do things that you don't agree with, so you just leave. Um, I'm not one to leave and run to that person's enemy. And I don't know who's done that and who hasn't done that, whatever. Um, oh, you had a big breakfast. When I left Laura's support, um, when I quit supporting Perplexed, I left. I did a live stream, and I did a live stream so that rumors wouldn't get started. But I also didn't run to her enemies. And that's just me. And I don't know who's doing it and who's not doing it. It's just what I've picked up on in the last few days of just cruising around our little part of the internet. So, whatever. It's sad to see that friendships or whatever relationships formed on the internet get, busted like that, but they do. And it is what it is. I remember when you left Perp. Yeah. I mean, it was just my time to go. Me and Laura see things so differently. Well, I can't imagine anybody really seeing things the way Laura does. No shade there, Laura. But again, I don't want to sit and talk about Laura all the time. You know, another reason I don't watch Leanna is because I don't want to fucking hear about Laura every day, day in, day out, every day. I don't, is she even still doing that? I don't know because I don't watch Leanna. So, cats rule. I mean, I told you all a couple of weeks ago that I done got knee deep over there in that damn Keemstar universe, that LCU universe. And even now it's starting to get stale. I don't know if you all even know about it. I see a couple of y'all over there occasionally, but I try not to say anything to you in chat because I don't want to blow our cover, whatever cover that may be. LCU is a joke. Yeah, well, Keemstar had a dream. And again, Keemstar is an evil genius. I mean, he is. I don't care what you say. Hey, Bolo. Um, but I'm all about, I'm all about entertainment. Okay. If, entertainment is entertainment. But what I don't like is when I see one or two people in this big universe all working for the same thing. Obviously, money is the only thing that's important to them because all these people that have run around for years, you've got Xylee Gets Real. Hey, Bola, you got Xylee Gets Real. She spent her YouTube career calling out other YouTubers for creepy, goony things. Uh, well, now she's a part of the LCU and she calls out nothing that's done within the LCU. Like just recently, some videos or some audios of Keemstar gooning with a 21-year-old. Uh, I don't like this word, but it's the word she personally uses. Hey, Sarah. Everybody throw Sarah congrats. She had her a beautiful, um, oh, what do you call them? Destination wedding. Right, Bolo. And here's my thing. I get it. Money's important. Money, money makes the world go round. I get it. But for all these people who have spent their time on the internet acting like they actually stood for something, like Xylee Gets Real, like Tina D, the one and only angry neighbor of grandpa, angry grandpa, or whatever. I don't know her real channel. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Um, Savage. Um, these are all people that if you knew anything about them on the internet, they come off as people that actually, you know, hey, gender locks. They come off as people. I mean, that used to be their thing. They used to, call out people on the internet for creepy shit. And then their boss gets caught up in some gooning with a 21-year-old basically mentally disabled girl. According to her records say she's retarded. I don't like that word. I know it's still used in some medical circumstances, but it's not a word I like, but it's her word. And, I'm thinking, right, Sergeant Blackrock. And I'm thinking, ooh, this isn't good. And this isn't good because, and let me explain why it fell so hard on me, is because the day before all of this came out about Keemstar, Savage and her co-host Roxy just had this big come apart because another host over on Queens, Becky Boop, was performing some kind of, they don't like the word script, but anytime Mike Green from Angry Grandpa is involved, it's going to be, I mean, if you've ever watched his videos, come on, guys. It is what it is. Yes, he has a channel of Angry Grandpa. You know, I mean, they made themselves millionaires off of this. It's kind of like McJuggernuts. I mean, if that's that's how they've made their money, is off this scripted stuff. And it's all, fine and well, but it gets to the point where they actually target somebody in their own universe. Yeah, scripted drama. I mean, come on. There's been people in our own community that's been, accused of doing that. Back in the day when Laura and Molly and, whoever would go, one day they were friends, one day they weren't, and everybody would say, oh, it's scripted. You all talk behind the scenes and blah, blah, blah. So you take it at face value, but I can't stand that Savage and Roxy get up there. They're allowed to call this woman a groomer over a skit. And then this happens with uh Keemstar, their boss, where he's caught, gooning with a former host who's mentally challenged, and they don't say shit. Not one person. Boogie, which I cannot stand that man. I mean, I think he's a. But Boogie gave it to him harder than anybody. And for the most part, you expect it out of certain ones. But for the ones that have made their way on this internet acting like they have a real problem, and Savage and them to sit over there and call this woman a groomer over a skit, and then it came out about Keemstar actually gooning. It was like, and it could have been better timing. It could not have worked out better. Could not have worked out better. I wish I could get this thing off of my screen that says share referral link. I don't know how to do it. It's like blocking your all's comment. You missed the old DC. Well, I mean, how old are you talking? Are you talking back in the, you know, uh, Diane's channel and Wendy and Randy and uh, the porch? And I mean, are you talking way back then? Are you talking about when the TC and the DC collided? I mean, I don't know. What I am noticing, yeah, way back then. What I am noticing though is the money on this platform is really drying up for everybody. I mean, no matter who I watch, the money is drying up. And right, Cass? But you know, people on here bitching and moaning and complaining. If you're only here for money, then get it while you can, because it's drying up. It's drying up for everybody. Times are hard right now. And I did watch a little surge of cash apps um, right around tax return time. People that got their tax returns, Savage's pirates, they were throwing her money over there. But I mean, they actually scammed people out of $2,000 plus. Her and her co-host, Savage and Roxy and Mike Green, scanned people out of over $2,000 because hey, Johnny Cuddy. Well, Bolo, I think some of those, like Big Gazebo and them, I think big donators like that is actually Keem and Mike and them. Because if they keep the money, everybody knows, if you've ever worked in a tip position, say a bartender, that when you start your day out, you go ahead and throw a few bucks in your own tip jar because it just gets the money rolling. I mean, I always did. Of course, I couldn't do that as a dealer in a casino because, well, that's not legal. But behind a bar or anything like that, if you're in a tip position, you go ahead and you get the ball rolling by putting a little bit of money in your tip jar. I mean, if you've ever bartended, that's what you do. Yes, I do. I think Keem is pimping the pump. Yes, I do. I honestly do. And I'll tell you why I believe it is because on their main show, LC Locale Live, which is what I first started watching, was when it was I watched it a couple times with Tommy C, Boogie, and Wings, and Keem didn't make that many appearances. Um, I watched it a few times, and it was just three guys doing a podcast. And then Tommy C left, whatever. And then Keem came in as the third. And it's Keem's baby, anyways. But so I watched it. It was okay. It's just three guys doing a podcast. You got Boogie, who's just a washed up fat guy who, you can watch a documentary on him and it'll make you cry. It's that sad. And then you got Wings of Redemption, who has the ugliest fucking trolls as I've ever seen. And then you got Keemstar, who has, hey, Miss Leah, who has been at the top and been at the bottom. And now he's trying to work his way back up again. I'll never, ever underestimate the business mind behind Keemstar, ever. No matter what you say about him, like him, don't like him, whatever, he does have a business oriented mind. But things like what just got leaked with the phone calls, the sexting, the nudes, everything with his former co-worker, his former employee, that's the kind of thing that could destroy you. But instead, Keem turned it around, used it for content, and had everybody, every host he has, make a big joke out of it. I mean, which in a business sense, he handled it probably best. He literally had people throwing him money for gooning with a 21-year-old mentally disabled person who lives in Canada that used to be his employee, that absolutely worships him, wants her job back with him so bad. And he had people throwing him money. Now, you tell me, is the man smart or not? You don't have to agree with it. And then for all of his hosts that have spent their time on the internet, you got Billy the Fridge. Okay, I guess Billy's claim to fame is being being a very small rapper. He has some rap songs. I think he might even have an album or something. And Xylee Gets Real, which was a call out channel, which called out things like that. But she calls out nothing anymore. When the host story broke, which Mike broke himself, not Becky, like Savage likes to say. But when, the host story broke about Mike Green hooked up with his now wife when she was 15 and he was 20, that was a big thing. Keem had to find a way to fix it because, Keem has always been the one that went after dudes that did that kind of shit. And Savage even participated in the Bring Mike Back strike. I mean, I personally don't care. They're married. They have 2 kids together. They've been together for 18 plus years now or whatever it is, whatever. But when you've made your career on here being a pedo hunter and calling shit like that out, and then Xylee's, she puts her foot down and says, I just absolutely cannot work with Mike Green. That just goes against everything in my bullshit, Xylee. You're on fucking camera with him all the time. Stop. You sound crazy. But like I said, you got people throwing money at you like that. The donations are slowing down. Oh, I agree, Bolo. And that's why I called out Deets. I don't have a problem with Deets. I mean, I don't watch Deets that often. If I catch Deets, it's probably on Jones's panel. Um, but people come on here and I hate bullies and bullies are bad and don't be a bully, don't treat people like that. And then I see you throwing money to bully somebody. Come on. Guys, I can't hardly read your comments because I'm going to try refreshing. Let me see. Okay, let's see what happens. Nope, it's still there. I don't know why, but it's right there, so I can't hardly read your all's comments until it's way up the thing. Off subject, how do you feel about MGL going? Okay, here's my thing about the whole MGL raising money to go to Betty's court hearing. To me, that's stalkerish. To me, that is stalkerish. Good morning, Sunnyside. MGL raising money when she sits and acts like they have more money than God. Okay, I probably shouldn't use that as an example, especially on Good Friday, because God ain't all about money. But, they have this, Walter, Adrian, whatever the fuck his real name is, makes all this money. He's a good, blah, 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 blah. And you got to come to YouTubers to raise money to stalk another YouTuber that you used to be pals with, that you did the same crazy bullshit she does. Yeah. Yes, Molly is trying to do anything to resurrect herself. Yes. Yes. And it might work. I've seen crazier things happen. Will she ever be Molly Golightly again? No. No. Right. And in this little sector of YouTube, what brings in the most views? What brings in the most views? Right now, what's the hot topic? Be a Bullhorn Betty hater. That's what brings it in. That's, that's so Molly jumped on it. Very unoriginal, disappointed in the fact because Molly can be entertaining. And I've always said this, I don't care how you feel about the woman, she can be entertaining. She's good behind a mic. Um, but for that to be your stepping stone back into the YouTube world, how many other people have done it, Marissa? It is so not original at all. And to ask other YouTubers to pay your way to stalk another YouTuber. I'm glad you're over the chemo, Captain Obby. I know scanxiety is a real thing, so the entertainment should not be at the expense of it. Of course it shouldn't. Of course it shouldn't. I put up a post. I heard a clip of Granny's watching, crying tears of joy. I guess she won her court case. She blocked me a while back. I don't. Hey, Ross Dog. I can't believe I just say, hey, Ross Dog. Remember how me and Ross used to be? He'd come in my chat and say, eat another cigarette. And I'd say, suck another dick. And that was our rapport. But I just put up a post. I wonder if Granny's watching will pay back the ones that, helped her get to the success of winning her court case. And her little goons come in with, I didn't give with any expectations of receiving money back and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. I don't even know who you are. Don't even recognize your name. If you don't want your money back, that's fine and dandy. But wouldn't the decent thing to do? Hey, Jennifer Marie. Wouldn't the decent thing to do is if I got my ass in a sling and ended up in a courtroom over YouTube and I asked you guys, oh God, there must be a squirrel in the yard or something crazy. They're barking. And I asked you guys to help me get through this court case and I end up winning as a decent human being, my first response would be, hey, Jamie Lynn, I just won the case. If I get any money for damages, if my attorney's fees get paid back, because I think that's what she was crying about, because it's a possibility, a, and it may be way down the road before she ever sees any money, if she sees any money. But wouldn't you want to offer it back to the people that had your back? I don't know. I just come from a world that, number one, you don't beg for money. Um, yeah, it's nice if you can come on here and be entertaining and someone, I think it's a decent thing to do. But if you do have to come on here and beg for money because you're in a pickle, whether it be, whether it be court related or, you can't pay your bills, your rent's due and you're running short. and you have to get money, and you get that money back in your pocket, isn't the decent thing to do is to pay it back? I don't know. Call me crazy, but you would have thought with her goons coming up. Now here she has me blocked. And I think she has me blocked because I said something smart one day like, um, oh, you're over there bumming attorney fees, but you're over here buying memberships at Keemstar's camp. Something like that. And she blocked me. Okay, fair enough. I earned that block, and I'll take that block. Oh, good Lord. You hear Maggie? You would think that the house, listen to her howl. Good gosh. But I didn't think my community post was that bad. It wasn't like I trashed her or anything. You know, I haven't been silent about how I feel about people coming on here and begging for money to go to court when all you had to do was keep your damn mouth shut. I know another creator who was given loads of money for a court case and treated that donor like a piece of shit. Yeah, I don't understand it. See, I can't read her comments, Bolo, because the bitch blocked me. She thinks she's best friends with Boogie and Keem. Well, no. Well, that would be funny to read. I wish she would unblock me. Granny, unblock me so I can read your ridiculous comments over at LCU. Come on. Yeah, you have people beg for money and then hit the casinos. Yeah. Right. Ask them if they want their money back. My first thing would have been, okay, I'd go live and say, okay, I won the court case. This is what is this is what my attorney is asking for. He wants his fees paid, he wants damages, he wants this, because that's what I heard. And then, guys, if and when this money comes in, I will gladly repay you because of your generosity. I was able to, muddle my way through this court case. I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong for thinking that way? She tells them what to do with their channel. Well, unless she's throwing 19.99 at them, Bolo, they ain't paying her no attention. Okay, I know it won't happen, but is it wrong for me to even put up a community post suggesting that, and then to have her goons come over here like, I gave my money and I don't expect nothing in return? Okay, well, you're one little drop in the bucket to all the people that helped her with this. Yes, Johnny Cuddy, that's exactly. And I made a comment to her over there in Keemstar's community. Wait a minute, you're over on your channel begging for money for an attorney fee, and you're over here buying fucking memberships? Get the hell out of here. And she blocked me. Like I said, it was a fair block. I call it the law fund lottery. They've already spent it in their head. Barbecue said they are going to pay for her kids' college fund. Well, I'm happy that you're going to pay for your kids' college fund, but pay back the money that people helped you with, bitch. If they get some kind of big substantial settlement, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know. I thought it was all bogus bullshit anyway. It's fucking Rico. Um, I don't know. I guess I was just raised different than a lot of people on here. Quit sucking up, Laura. By the way, Laura, the fact that you think Lori Lori Vallow is putting on a good defense really makes me question you even more, Laura, because the couple days I tuned in, she sounded crazy. I mean, I don't think she cares at this point because she's already going to spend the rest of her life in prison. So that's why she's like, fuck it. I'm never going anywhere anyways. I'll get my 15 minutes of fame before I sit in a jail cell and rot away for killing 2 kids. But I don't know. I think she's doing horrible. Almost to the point you have to watch it just because it's so bad. Man, it's like summertime out today. We went from, hey, be real. We went from it being tornadoes, it went from being cold to tornadoes to major flooding, back to cold, and now it's like summertime outside. All in like a week. No, I don't think she got the death penalty. I know she didn't get the death penalty. And even if she did, she'll set, if you get the death penalty, by all rights, you get like automatic appeals and shit, and you sit there for years. So I just think she just loves the attention. And right, Carol, she will. She'll get a lot of she'll get a lot. Happy Easter weekend, everyone. Yeah, man, Easter. I know the whole meaning behind Easter and everything, and it's not jelly beans and Cadbury eggs, but man, do you know how bad I miss our littles, all of our kids, even, dressing them up and taking them to, church and Sunday, Sunday dinner, Easter dinner. I miss that so much, you all. I'm getting old and melancholy. Catherine, you're going to wear shorts? I'm telling you right now. Well, I don't know if I can wear shorts. I haven't, let me check the legs. Nah, I'm gonna have to shave my legs before I can put on shorts, but I'll probably will sit in the sun. I got stuff to make my brother and like a community Easter basket. I'm just gonna set it on the dining room table, but it's just not, I don't know. The best I can hope for is pictures of my nieces and nephews' littles. And even they are getting up into their preteen. But I miss that, man. I miss seeing all the kids. Hello, Crystal. Yeah, I want a grandbaby too, Captain Avi, but it's never going to happen. So it's just something that I have to realize. It's just something else I've been robbed of in my life. But I'm grateful. I would be the best grandmother too. I really would. If y'all know me outside of just sitting here talking to y'all like this, I would be the best grandmother. Grandmothers are like your second shot at it. What you did wrong the first time, you can fix it or make it different. It's just, I would just be a good grandmother. I know I would. But, when everybody says you don't know that feeling until you have a grandchild, and I believe that because I remember how my mom was with our kids. You got to remember my son, who's, pushing 40, was only 9 or 10 when my mom died. So, you know, but that relationship between my mom and my son was so much more unique than my relationship with my mother. I don't know. Like I said, it's, so many people have it so much worse, but you ever considered being a nanny? I've never considered that. You have 4 grandkids. That's so great. That's so good. I know another one of my posts that pissed people off was I posted a little snippet of something that Alicia, science girl, had written. And I said, Laura Collins CPS was wrong. It was wrong. There's no way to get around the fact that it was wrong. But yet Alicia calling the cops on Corey, nobody batted a real eye at. Well, I'm sorry. Hey, Karen Burns. I'm sorry. It, it may not be as bad. It may be different. It may be this. It may be that. But it's still fucking wrong. And of all people, and I love Zero Filter Jules, and she's more than welcome to always have her opinion. But she came in and she's like, well, Corey has said this, and Corey has said this, and Corey has said this, and Corey has said this. And I'm like, see, you just proved my point. You just proved my point. Right, Karen. I'm over it. There's only one person that's probably never going to get over it, and she's never going to shut her mouth about it. And I'll tell you again, me waving the white flag to Natasha Cooper, that was hard for me to do. That was really hard for me to do because I didn't want to. I love Zero too. I like Zero. I like her. Um, but me waving the white flag at Natasha Cooper was really hard for me to do. But once it involved my family, once my kid was brought into it, is when I said, okay, I'm done. And it goes back to the whole Brian and Rel thing, you know. Bello, I think you and I think a lot alike. I see your comments here and there, and I feel like that we're along the same page. Um, I mean, I'm always one of those wrong is fucking wrong. And I don't care who did it and who it was done to. Wrong is wrong. And two things can be wrong at the same exact time. That's how I've always looked at things. I don't know. Yes, I saw pictures from Sarah's destination wedding, and let me tell you all, it was absolutely gorgeous. And her little pup got spayed day before yesterday, I think, and she's struggling a little bit. So prayers for Maya. That's Sarah's little pup, our little black shepherd pup. She'll be fine. I think she had a little rough go of it. The surgery wasn't as easy as it is most of the time. So yeah, congratulations to Sarah. Yay. Did that sound sarcastic? Because it wasn't meant to be. Because I adore Sarah. I want people to know on here that just because I disagree with something that you may say or do doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means I don't like that action. I don't know. I feel like at my age, hello, Jenny Hansen. I feel like at my age, you can do that. you know, right? Sonny said. I don't know. I'm getting old, people. Going into the grocery store. I just did a grocery. Ugh, don't even get me started on freaking groceries. And then people wonder why donations on here are drying up. Sarah got married at a destination wedding, Jennifer Marie, to her longtime soulmate. So, yeah, I didn't mean to be snarky. I adore Sarah. When I said, yay, I wasn't being snarky. She knows that. Sarah knows me, and she knows that pretty much I'm no different on screen, sitting here talking to you guys and sitting and talking in a Discord with her. Probably a little goofier in Discord because, well, I've learned the hard way. There's a lot of shit you just don't put on the internet. Sinan, I love your snark. Can't even egg a house without taking. Cat's rule. Hey, Shanna. Listen to this. Okay. I don't know how old you guys are, and it's really none of my business. But I'm old enough that as a senior in high school, we always had that's right, Rostong. We always had what we called senior skip day. And we would get a keg of beer. Now, keep in mind, this has been a long time ago, but we would get a keg of beer and we'd all go out to the lake and, grill and drink on the keg and whatever. That was our senior thing. And then, of course, there was senior prank day. And I never really participated much in that, whatever. Well, it just pops up on my Facebook feed from our local police department the other day that the beginning of a game that seniors play with squirt guns is starting. And it's some kind of last senior standing, you win a prize or something like that. So they run around town nailing each other with squirt guns. And the cops are basically saying, please don't shoot these kids if you see them outside of your house running around with a squirt gun. They actually encourage the kids not to do it, but they know it's going to happen and they're going to get thousands of calls because there's a stranger lurking around somebody's house with what appears to be a weapon in their hand and blah, blah, blah. And I'm reading this and I was thinking to myself, damn, I'm old. Right, Lindsay. But we didn't make it like a week or two long thing where you ran around town nailing each other with a squirt gun. And I guess if you get squirted, you're somehow out of the running for the cash prize at the end of the game. Right, Carol. We as kids could have gotten away with that because you didn't have every homeowner on the block locked and loaded. I know, Sarah. I know, there ain't no stopping it. I don't care how much money you spend on moisturizing cream, it ain't stopping. I watched a funny video, a TikTok video earlier of a woman. This black lady sitting in her truck and she's drinking a shot, and her kid goes, "Mama, why are you drinking?" And she starts on this rant about getting older and how she just broke her thumb trying to pull her drawers up. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, it's just a whole different day and age. And as a parent, if I was the parent of a senior, I would be a little, you know, not wanting to smash your kids' fun or dream, of going out and participating in this, senior squirt gun game. I don't know. But I would be a little leery letting my kid do that. I, you know, I don't know. Of course, I just go for the comment section because that's where all the fun is the comment section. You know who used to have the best comment section was Wendy V. That's who used to have the best comment section. I don't know about anymore, but she used to. He'd go paint a big rock. Yeah, you're wild and crazy, Cat's Rule. Yes, Wendy V always used to have the best comment section. I have to give her, if I was giving away awards, I'd give her best comment section. Maybe, like I said, maybe not anymore. I don't know. I don't go over there that often. I don't really go on anybody's channel. Like I said, I got sucked into the LCU shit, and it just so happens that everything goes on permanent record now. Right? The '90s were great. Shut up, Ross Dog. You kid. The '90s. I graduated in the '80s. But Sam, you're gonna get all dirty. I ain't complaining though. We got dirt instead of mud now. I'm a happy freaking camper. I'll take dirt over mud any day. Class of 99, 1999. That's a pretty cool. You always think about the number. I'm not telling you what class I was. It doesn't matter. I tell you, my kid was born in '86, so, and I was of age when he was born. I was not a teen mother, so not much of age, but I was. I was damn near to drinking age. I don't know. Times have changed. And they're just going to keep changing. And have I told you that Elon Musk scares the shit out of me? I don't know why, but that man like scares me. Anytime I see his picture or an article about him or whatever, it like actually brings up a little bit of like a pit in my stomach. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying, I mean, know. I don't know him. I wished I did though. He would probably buy me a house and stuff. Yes, his face is scary. It just every time. Yes, chat, GPT, all that scares the daylights out of me. Every time I see an article or something and his face is plastered on it, I was like, it just gives me like a little pit in my stomach. And I don't feel like that about any other human being on the earth. I mean, even really bad people, I never felt that way. But whenever I see an Elon Musk article and his face is on, I was like, ooh, this is going to be something freaky and scary. I'm not ready, you all, but I'll be dead before it all falls into place anyway. So he is pretty amazing. He is a very intelligent. Look, we got Elon is a nutter. Then we got Elon is amazing. See how we can all disagree and still be okay with it. It's okay. The guy is a genius. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how much you like somebody or dislike them or whatever. You have to give them credit for it takes me right back to Keemstar. Is he a genius? No. The man can barely freaking read, but he is a businessman. And some of his moves are genius like. Don't get a big head. The man is not a genius. Like I said, he can barely freaking read. And to be caught gooning with his 21-year-old, which, shame on her for even trying to profit off of it. You know, it backfired in her face totally. But the girl wants her job back with him so bad. And he even says on there, there's this big NDA where you can't discuss money. And he says on there that Queens, which would be Becky and Tina, are making like $7,000 a month. That's not sneeze at money. It's not be a millionaire money, but it's not nothing to sneeze at. And that's why I feel like he kind of took advantage of Lynx a little bit, because she does want to be a part of his world so badly that sending nudes and all that stuff, videos and stuff, and the dirty talk. To me, they're two consenting adults. There's nothing illegal about what he did, but it was very cringe. And knowing how bad she wants to be a part of that world again, I feel like he could have cut that off, you know, as soon as it crossed the line from just being civil and not being you know, ex-employee, ex-employer kind of, hatred between each other. I agree with you, Bolo. It was so cringe. And for not one of his people to call that out, you basically just ruined any chance. Everybody that's a part of the LCU right now has no future on the internet ever again. So you better just hope it works out. You really better just hope it works out, because you will never have credibility on the internet. Savage can never come back as Savage. The one who went after the tragedy pimps, but ended up making money off the tragedy pimps who were making money off tragedies, mostly children. The one that went around calling Dolly Vision a red dot because his brother uh, has been convicted of sexual crimes against children. She can never come back to that. There's no ever coming back. Some of them never had an internet footprint like Roxy. So there's nothing for her to worry about. She'll just drift off into the sunset like she came in. Be real, I'm starting to lose interest too. Hospital has released the victims. That's that whole thing, Florida State, another unnecessary tragedy in this country. It's just, but I'm not one that's going to sit here and blame guns. I'm not. Guns haven't changed. People have. You can't even bring yourself. Hey, sweet potato. It's a low-cal universe, Jenny Hansen. It's like this whole Keemstar. His dream was to have channels running 24 hours a day. And of course, he makes money off all of them. Hello, Cosmic. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, they basically e-beg for money. Okay, which is something that Savage, according to Savage, is just, how many years did she go around calling people out for e-begging? But whatever. So they basically e-beg for money. So what they do is they set these goals, and for $20 super chats, I'll drink hot sauce, or I'll dump condiments on my head, or whatever. Okay. And they get it. They meet their goal a lot. But one of the goals a couple weeks ago on the Milkers, which is Savage and Roxy's show, belongs to Keemstar, but they're the host. The goal was, for X amount of dollars, Roxy will quit smoking. First, it started as a punishment, and it was 7 days. And then they decided, hey, we can make money off of this. So if, for every $50 you send, Roxy has to quit another day. Bitch never quit smoking. They got over $2,000 for it. And she came to my channel to leave a comment, which she does a lot. She came to my channel and said, it was never I had to quit smoking, as if you caught me smoking. No, bitch, you don't get to change the rules. And that's the kind of scamming they do. But then they have a total shit face meltdown when Becky says she'll drink hot sauce and she doesn't. Then you got Xylee Gets Real just calling it out like, Becky sacrificed her firstborn on camera or something. And, she didn't drink real hot sauce. Well, okay. Any adult that's allowing themselves to be punished. I know I bother the fuck out of her, Bolo. And it's funny as shit. Because Savage is sitting back telling her, man, that bitch is from my old community. Don't go over there, Roxy. Don't give her don't give, Savage blocked me. Savage blocked me from her chat, the Milkers chat, which I was on a gifted membership anyway. So no harm, no foul. But not only did she block me from her chat, she has personally blocked me. And to me, that's a win for me. That's a win for me. Is that a donut, Cosmic? Surely not. Oh, it's the no smoking sign. Never mind. I don't think you'd get the whole donut thing, anyways. So Savage blocking me, I took as a total fucking win. But for Roxy to come up here underneath my comments and try to lie to me, I'm like, no, girl, no, you ain't. The number of mentally stunted incels that support and sit in that Discord over there. And I only know this because they drag them up on screen all the time. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. The number of men, grown ass men, who should be out making a living and living their life with their significant others, and they're building their homes and their lives. And no, no, man, these are basement dwelling, hot pocket eating, Cheeto dick. Oh my God, it's so bad. But it's fascinating. Right. Most of them can't. And you know what? Keemstar knows this. And he'll say, I mean, Keemstar will say that, our Discord is safe. It's really safe, because a couple of the women get bent out of shape because things go on in the Discord that's not appropriate, like Zazu did she's also an OnlyFans, she has an OnlyFans page. And I personally don't like everybody throwing that in her face. Yes, there is secure every level. Are there some probably wealthy, intelligent people? Probably, but they're few and far between. Gang it, that close. I'm surprised Nat Clo isn't a part of it. Because that is what is over there, is standard Nat Clo cutouts. That is who sits in that Discord over there, which I am not a part of. I could be. I choose not to join it. Because I would end up getting banned for my mouth because they do not like the truth. Not necessarily me, but the actual truth. But it's like Nat Clo cutouts. They drag these people up on the screen, because they run out of content. So they start pulling people in from Discord to get on the screen. And it's like, really? This is who you surround yourself with on a daily basis for 18 hours a day? Wow. I never understood the whole sitting in a Discord, anybody's Discord. I'm in a small little Discord with a small handful of people. And once in a while, we do a morning chit chat between me and a couple others. Other than that, no, we don't. We got people, no, no. People got to work. They got to get married. They got to live their lives. They got to build houses. They got to, no. I think he follows the dabble verse. What is that? What is the dabble? Oh yeah, they're pay pigs. Yeah, they're pay pigs. And so for a small fee of $100 a month, that is basically probably just taken out of your paycheck or your monthly check or whatever. I don't know. I'm joking. I'm sure that doesn't happen. But for $100 a month, you can be a pay pig on a channel. And for $500 a month, you can be a crown. And some of these people live with their mothers And they're paying Keemstar $500 a month to sit in Goon in a Discord with them. I miss our daily chats too, Sarah. I really, Sarah misses me. I haven't seen Steph, Johnny. I haven't heard from her. I haven't seen her. Hey, Be Real. Discord is not all bad, okay? But I can only imagine that one of Keemstar's because there's thousands of people in it. Oh, Keemstar's definitely in his 40s, hanging out with 20-year-olds. Yes. It's just crazy. I mean, you got to pay to be in the Discord, and I understand why he does that, or he just have, instead of the freaks that he has, he would have a lot more freaks. Stuttering John from Howard Stern and the channels that, oh, Ross, don't get me down that rabbit hole. I got to take a screenshot of that because I'm going to look into it. Oh, shoot. I know, sent in. I know. I'm pretty sure that Discord's still up and running. I just don't go in it. I'm not a part of it anymore. Someone would have to pay me. I ain't paying someone for their attention. Exactly. I mean, I really think when COVID hit, people really slipped into it. Now, you all know how freaked out I was over COVID. But I think people went somewhere mentally and never came back. It's a bunch of Nat clothes. Okay, that to me that's interesting, Ross. Not that Nat Clo is interesting, but when you put a bunch of them together, I'm one of those people. I want to know what makes somebody's mind tick. And that's what fascinates me with the whole LCU is there are people in these comments, in these chats that are really having a come apart because of something that's scripted. Some of the things they say, like Becky, okay, Becky is like the villain. She's like a villain of the universe. And she plays the role well. She really does. But Becky caught my attention because of her quick comebacks. Because she's up against Tina D, Tina Dandridge, angry grandpa's neighbor, whatever, who used to hang out in the old asylum, Steve Billings and all them, Troll Avenue. All Tina does is sit there and like grunt with her legs spread wide open, not cute, and yells, screams that she is the greatest of all time. You would think she was Muhammad Ali, except a woman with one leg. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm Tina D. I'm the greatest of all time. I mean, that's exactly how she sounds, too. That's all she does. But then when the money starts drying up because people are tired of looking at Tina D's crotch, I told you all about the. Yes, Bolo, yes. And that's why I like Becky because I catch her little quirky, um, her little quirky jabs that just go right through. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but to me, Becky truly is an entertainer, fake or not. She's an entertainer. Man, they're all still sucking. Hey, Amber K. They're all still sucking the life out of that man, and he's been dead for years. God rest his soul. Angry Grandpa. It's like a human zoo. It is. It really is. And I always used to think our little corner of YouTube was kind of fascinating with all the different personalities and the way this one thinks and the way that one thinks. And man. Our little corner of YouTube almost looks normal. And that's what drew my attention over there when he started branching out with these shows and all these different personalities. I mean, Savage was only brought over there to torment Tina D because Mike knew how bad her and Tina would go at it. So, boom, you got a show. And now Tina gets along better with Savage than she does her own co host. Well, go work with Savage then. They're making more money right now, anyways. But Tina believing that she could actually be on LoCal Live, and Keemstar throws this shit out there. It's so funny because he's so manipulative. He's so manipulative. It's intriguing. And Tina really thinks she could be a part of. Keemstar can't even handle it when you have a click in the background or something. If you're not on a $5,000 setup, you ain't going on Keemstar's show. But she really thinks Keemstar's going to sit there and listen to her grunt all the way through one of his shows. I know Tina always sounds, she's recognized everywhere. She's famous. Oh my God. And I know for you all that don't watch it, this is probably boring, and I'm sorry, but oh my God, it's the scamming that they do for money, and people do it. People who they sit in their chat and say, I can't become a cash cow. I can't become a pay pig until my check comes in next month. Really? So you're just going to piss away $100 because you need to belong somewhere? It's kind of sad when you think about it, but I can't get sad about it because then it won't hold my attention any longer. Which is kind of wearing on me now, anyways. I'm done. But it is kind of fascinating. Amber Kay was supposed to her put up a page or her YouTube with her crystals and stuff, and she's never followed through. Calling you out, girl. Yes, a sad social experiment. Yes. Hey, D Rod. It's thank God summertime's coming. I'll take some pay pig, right? Thank God summer, the weather's breaking and people's going to start hopefully getting out of their houses and going out and actually enjoying themselves. But I don't know. I think Bolo looks at it the same way I do. It's kind of freaking fascinating. Yeah, I did. I called Amber Kay out. Well, she's always wanted me to give her back the $100,000 she loaned me. Right, a bunch of fools in a house fighting. Has nobody come up with this idea before? Right. Well, Amber, you're not going to know until you try. I know we're getting in the 80s today too. It doesn't mean it won't snow tomorrow. I mean, welcome to, you know. I heard Keemstar say that him and his girlfriend that he loves but he won't marry, but that he loves to have threesomes with other girls with. I feel kind of bad for that chick too because she's obviously in love with Keemstar, and I'm not saying he doesn't love her. I'm sure he does, but he's never going to make a commitment to her. So you're probably going to leave the relationship as broke as you was when you came in, but get it while you can, Brantley. But they're going to be at the Kentucky Derby, which is 7 minutes away from my house. Do you honestly think I'm going to get in the car and drive over to Churchill Downs just to sneak a peek at the famous Keemstar? Not happening. Oh, he's a bigger thing now. See, Amber Kay knows who I'm talking about. But he'll swear. I'm sure there'll be photos of people all gathered around him. I mean, Keemstar's the kind of man. I'll give you $20 for a photo shoot right now. Make it look like you like me. I've had my days of derby, and no. When I got to wait in line to place a bet, when I got an app on my phone where I can place a bet in the comfort of my own home, I don't have to wait in line for a beer. It's a couple steps to the refrigerator. I don't have to wait in line to piss. It's a couple steps to the bathroom. The days of me doing the Kentucky Derby are over. It's one of my favorite days of the year, but I'd much rather it be spent sitting outside in the sun at with a bookie, booking a party, and me placing my own bets. You want to go just to wear the cute dress and the hat? Yeah, I mean, it's an experience that everybody should do. If you've never done the Derby and you have the means to do it, and it's everybody should experience the Derby. I've experienced it both infield and, the dresses and the hats. The infield was actually more fun, which they don't have anymore, because that's where all your, you know, poor people, not poor people, but your partiers and, all of that. It's an infield. If you've ever been to an infield event of anything, it's kind of like the Indy 500. I used to go there every year, and we did the infield. They don't have the infield anymore. I hate mint juleps. Oh, they only do women, Karen. They only do threesomes with other women. I mean, she might find her a girlfriend, but I love the dresses and the hats too. I watch them. I watch them on TV. And around here, like weeks ago, all these people that make the hats and the fascinators and everything started advertising on Facebook and stuff. So it's a big to do. They did have to cancel the opening ceremony, which is Thunder over Louisville, which is like one of the biggest fireworks displays in the United States. It starts with an air show and then followed up by a very big fireworks. And let me tell you, I got kind of a sad story about Thunder. Last year on Thunder, we had already put the hospital bed in the living room for Boog, and then he was gone a few days later. But because it falls on a different day every. I mean, it's always a Saturday in April, but this one got canceled because of the floods, because it flooded our riverfront. But last year during Thunder, I'll never forget. I was sitting in the recliner watching it on TV, and Boog was in the hospital bed, kind of behind me, and he was like in and out of it. I mean, he was dying for fuck's sakes, and the noise on the TV, his eyes got real big, like he couldn't comprehend what was actually going on. Oh, the Masters. See, my son loves that. But he couldn't really and I think it scared him, like maybe we were at war or something, because all the jets flying over the house. I'm right here in the path of all of it. And I don't know. Makes me sad. Yes, Derby is always the second, or Derby is always the first Saturday in May, always. Except for the year of COVID, it got pushed to September. I know, D. Rod. It makes me so sad. It's so hard to believe, guys, that it's been almost a year. It'll be a year in just a couple days that Boog has been gone. Oh my God, it just breaks my heart. I miss him so much. It don't matter. That ain't what this live started out to be. But I wrote him a letter the other day because I just felt like I needed to. And you know what? We experienced our last total eclipse of the sun together. Although he wasn't feeling good and he couldn't sit outside with me looking like a fool because I'm sitting in the middle of the front yard with my glasses on and it made him dizzy. But I know, Clary too. God, man, a year. Look how fast that went. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. But it's something that went down in my memory book. My last totally eclipse of the sun I spent with Boog. Because I think they only happen, what, once every. Boog will be gone. Hey, Kathy Rebuilds. Boogie, Boogie. Boog will be gone a year on the 23rd day of April. So here within the next week or so, it will be a year. And Clary, right around that mark. It's just amazing. And I really didn't realize that Jonice and Boog passed away so close to each other. Jonice just it was just a year in March for Jonice. It's just crazy, man. You know, the connections that you form with people on here. That's why it's always so important to, not become so parasocial with some of these people on here because it actually hurts when you lose them. What happened with Clary? Clary got sick, like COVID or something, and then she just never got better from it. Um, right. Yes, Clary passed away. But Clary also never wanted, or I've been told, Clary never really said it to me, but that she never really wanted a big deal about it on YouTube or anything, which is why it went almost totally unmentioned. But I feel like I have to mention her because although me and Clary started out on the wrong foot, you randomly thought about Clary the other day. Yeah. See, isn't that strange how that happens? But see, that's good. When you randomly think about somebody, that means they've left even the smallest of imprints on your life. I'm sorry, D-Rod. I mean, that's all I want to do is just leave even the smallest imprint. Once I'm gone and my channel fades away, and I actually had it set up where somebody would come on here and play the Bob Seger song, Famous Final Scene, and then just delete my channel altogether. I don't know if that's going to happen. I might have to turn over that to somebody else. I don't know. But I don't really want my channel lingering on here when I'm gone. I just don't. It feels weird. Um, but yeah, it's amazing. Crazy. Right, Sarah. Right. You never want to go against somebody's wishes. And although she never expressed those to me, I took the word of the person who said it, and it was never really recognized. And I always want to recognize when somebody, like I said, me and Clary, we did not start out good. She was still supporting Laura, and I thought she was the craziest, biggest bitch on YouTube. Once I got to know her, I found out what an absolute loyal person Clary T was. She defended me in times that she didn't have to. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm sure other people will disagree with you. I'm sure some people have a live stream and sing Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, but that's okay too. They'll remember me. I didn't say you had to remember me in greatness. Just remember me, damn it. I don't know. It's crazy. Like I said, the older I get, the more melancholy I get. And I've never been one of those kind of people. I mean, I've always been one that can cry at a Hallmark commercial. And when one of those ASPCA commercial comes on with Sarah McLachlan singing, I have to turn it over. I cannot do it. Hey, Artria. Yeah, she was crazy and wild, but a loyal friend. And Artria got to know that, as did Sarah, and others got to know that Clary long before I did. So, but very quickly, like I said, Clary had my back in some situations that she didn't have to. You know, she could have just one stayed out of it, or two on the other side of it, and she didn't. Because Clary was like me, wrong is wrong, right is right. Fuck it, you know, whoever's toes you step on. But I'll always remember. And that's amazing that, I've gone 60 years of my life, and I definitely have. I've met people from all over the world, famous people, not famous people, but the ones that stick out to me when I really sit back and think about memories, it's odd, some of the ones that do. I had a friend, his name was Jeff. I worked with him down at my very first casino that I opened. He was a little bit older than me, and I mean, he was a coworker, but he was a friend too. I mean, like, we spent Derby one day hanging down at the bar, booking bets through a bookie, and hey, TL, and they had a big crawfish, where they dump all the shit out on the table. I don't eat that stuff, so, but whatever. It seemed to go over well with the crowd. But his name was Jeff, and we used to have this on running joke with each other: who would die first? Well, he did. And let me tell you something, he touched my heart. You know, he's somebody that I actually set, and once a while he crosses my mind. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, you'll understand when you people start getting old like me, that you start thinking about shit like that. And getting old is actually a privilege. So for everybody that comes on here and calls me an old hag, thank you. Thank you so much. Now, the dried up old hag, I wish you wouldn't do that, but getting old does suck. But you know what? What's the alternative, Artria? Until Elon Musk figures out how to stop people from getting old, we're fucked. Wonder how many people would buy into that. Wonder how many people would, if tomorrow they came out. Now keep in mind what a controversy the whole COVID vaccine was. And whether you got it or whether you didn't doesn't change my opinion about you at all. But what if they come out tomorrow with a shot that Elon does have scary eyes. I told you, if you weren't here earlier, D-Rod, the man scares the shit out of me. And for no particular reason. He just does. I get a really deep knot in my belly when I see pictures and read articles about him. But what if he was to come out tomorrow with a shot, or not him, because he's not you know what I'm saying, an Elon funded shot, which will never happen because of population control and stuff like that in the United States. But what if an Elon sponsored shot for aging came out? Would y'all take it? Would you get in line? Would you do it? Put a one in the chat if you would take the shot. I hate that put a one in the chat thing, but I don't know how else to get y'all to tell me. Would you do it? If Pfizer or one of them came out and Elon was backing this shot financially, you'd have to pray about it and get the all clear R3.0. You'd wait and see the reaction first. Hell to the no. No. Right. I know, Bo. I know what you're saying. Like I said, we a vaccine is put out there to supposedly prevent you from getting this life destroying virus, which God rest the souls of the ones who did lose their battle to that. But, and people fought it. I mean, people fought it. But imagine them lining up for a shot that guarantees it stops your age at where you're at right now. It's not going to make you any younger. I mean, I got the COVID vaccine, so I fully expect to like grow a third eye or something on my forehead or something. I expect something to happen. But I was, kind of pressured into it by my doctors. And, if it happens, it happens. I'll just have to get an extra false eyelashes. Okay, I'm kidding. Now I sound like Savage. That is one of the biggest things that gets on my nerves about Savage. If you ever listen to her over on Milkers, which I'm sure most of you don't, she laughs at everything she says because nobody else does. But she can say, yep, tonight's going to be the full moon. You're going to learn about loss. It's like, bitch, that wasn't even funny. Wasn't even funny. No, Archery, you don't do that. I've heard you speak before. You don't laugh about everything you say. Is that what you're talking about? It's just one of Savage's habits that's really annoying. And I never noticed it before until she was on the show Milkers. And that's because Savage always sat on panels dragging people for filth, you know, and she was usually screaming or threatening or getting in her car and going by somebody's house or job. But I just noticed it recently. What'd you say, Karen? Look how they lied and continue to lie about the COVID shot. Yeah, but more and more comes out every day. And we all knew it would. You know, you just don't rush something like that. Um, but it is what it is. If you didn't get it, good for you. If you did get it, good for you. I'm not one to get my knickers in a knot over people doing stuff like that. It became this big, worldwide debate. And I'm like, who gives a shit if somebody else gets a shot? I'm kind of like that with a lot of things. Like the whole, God, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to end up getting myself in trouble. Like the whole transgender thing. I don't care, what you identify as. I really don't. But when I watch a TikTok where a lady is mad because her child can't be seen by a veterinarian because they identify with a cat. Now, keep in mind, I thought this was a joke. So when I first watched it, I laughed. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and she's for real. Good Lord. What a mockery to those that are truly transgender. And this lady is having a total freaking come apart because her child identifies as a cat and the veterinarian won't see him as a patient. Right. Be real. Yes. And I thought it was a joke. And I thought, okay, this has got to be a joke. Okay, it's TikTok. Everybody makes outrageous TikToks. And I'm not a big TikToker. I know some people that are, but it ain't no joke. She's dead ass serious. I can't remember her name right now, or I'd put it. I'd let y'all know. But no, it's for real, Sarah. I thought the same thing. I thought she got to be kidding. If she's not kidding, then she's really keeping the story. She's very good at what she's doing. If she's not joking, like according to her, her kid uses a litter box and everything. And I'm like, oh no, this can't be real. I, if I remembered her name, I'd tell you. And when I find her back on TikTok, I'll let you know. But it could be a big scam, and I'm gullible and I'm falling for it. But right, Cass, I've heard of schools that have put in litter boxes. Never seen it. Oh, good lord. Oh, I agree, Sarah. Like I said, I am not. I am probably the least worried about what anybody does with their personal life. Like, I got enough going on in my little pea brain that I don't need to stress out over shit like that. When my sister first came to me that she was gay, and then I don't care. And I don't care. I don't know what kind of reaction she wanted from me. How do you how to get how do you get specifics of Herman surgery at? I don't know, Artria. Right, TL. Right. Okay, y'all have heard of soft white underbelly. You know that YouTuber. Well, I watched one of his it came up on a short for me, so I went over and found the actual story of a man who has spent every penny because his wife, who's a pediatrician in Texas, which she moved to California, but he spent his entire life savings plus some. You know who I'm talking about? God bless this man. But the woman moved to California because California is such a more liberal state. But at like 2 years old, 6 years old, she's wanting to do gender reassignment on this baby, on this. No. So, I know that we're not going to get in a Trump debate. I can tell you that because, well, I'm just not doing that. But there's certain things that he does that I totally agree with. And the making it illegal for transgender reassignment surgeries until a person is of consenting age of 18. I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Call me bad, call me a, a bigot, a racist, or whatever you want to call me, but I kind of agree with that. I know I do have the best chat. It goes back to you don't have to agree with everything about a person to absolutely agree with some things. And I agree with Trump's decision to make that an illegal to have that surgery prior to the age of 18. That's a life changing surgery. You miss Sarah? You mean Dips? I do too. I miss Dips too, if that's who you're talking about. Well, Bolo, there's a lot of people that don't agree with it. He is stomping on the rights of parents around the United States that they should be able to do anything they no, children are not they're not your experiment. Children are blessings given to you from God. Oh, don't get me started. Just don't even. Y'all gonna get me on a rampage and it's gonna get me in trouble. Oh, yeah, the puberty blocking drugs. Yes. Yes, Artria. It just, unless there's an absolute medical reason to block puberty, like some sort of cancer or childhood disease or something, that blocking puberty would slow down the progression of it or whatever. Nope, no, no. It's just amazing to me that people just do this shit willy nilly. That's why I have respect for adult transgender people that don't make a mockery out of transgender people. I actually follow a transgender girl, and I really like her. She's really like got her shit together, really down to earth. I hope you're right, Artria. Right, TL. I know. You try to be politically correct because, you don't want to, and here we go with that stupid ass word, offend. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think in 60 years I've ever been offended. I really don't. Agree, Bello. I maybe I have been offended and I don't recognize that emotion. I don't know. But I can honestly sit here and say in my 60 years, I don't think I've ever been offended. Not by a dirty joke, not by a word, not nothing. Maybe y'all can help me out. Y'all think I've ever been offended? I don't think so. Right, Carol. Right. Unpopular opinion, but fuck Trump. Uh, Amber K, trust me, there's a lot of people in the fuck Trump boat. I'm a fuck Trump when he does something stupid, but I also see things that he does that I agree with. So, I'm sure it would have been the same way had Harris been our president. She would have done things I agreed with, and then it would have been the fuck Harris, train. But I don't think it's that unpopular of an opinion, Amber Cuddy. I mean, do you watch social media at all? Um, just kidding. I don't know. How in the hell did we get to this topic? I started off talking about the LCU and all the insanity over there, and now we're talking about this. That's crazy. Right, Archery. I agree. But yeah, when I come across that lady on TikTok, I thought this got to be a joke. This has got, and it's not. She's dead ass serious. If she's not dead ass serious, then she sure plays a hell of a role. Because it's shoved down. I can't see your comment, Archery. Because it's shoved down our throats. Yeah. I've so backed off of, I was so into the daily news and the world things. I've so backed away from it these last couple months. I mean, like I said, I can't even read an article about Elon Musk that I don't get a pit in my stomach. So I'm just kind of, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't know him. He's a genius. But sometimes geniuses are weird. I have a great nephew that's probably genius, and he's a little weird. I love him, but he's a little weird. Yes, cigarettes are 21. At least where I'm at, they are. You have to be 21. Skim the headlines. That's what I do too. But guys, I got to piddle around the house a little bit, and I think I'm actually going to shave my legs. I know, sounds crazy. Because, in the winter months, I only shave them every few days. Now that summer's coming on, you got to shave them not every time you take a shower, not every day, but pretty much run a razor over them real quick. And I think I'm going to shave my legs and actually put on some shorts and get some vitamin D, some real natural. All right, Carol, take care. Some real natural vitamin D that doesn't come in a jar shaped as Fred fucking Flintstone. And see if it makes me feel a little bit better because I have felt really sluggish lately. Yes. Well, I did touch grass the other day because I really did touch grass. Mostly because when Sam goes out and shits, he does that thing with his back paws where he, turns around and like throws the grass up. I don't know why dogs do that. I know cats do it in a litter box to cover the shit. But Sam Maggie doesn't do it. But he turns around and he kicks his paws, and when he does, grass gets stuck in his toenails. So, and it's not shitty grass. He never hits the actual pile of shit. So I really have touched grass. Does that count? I'm kidding. No, well, sort of. Sort of. Looks like Cat Child Moms is on YouTube. She named her daughter something like, oh my God, Cass. There you go. She's made it to YouTube. Crazy. Crazy. Now you got me. I'm going to go down another rabbit hole, Cass. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. Because I've only watched her on shorts on TikTok. But hope you're happy there, Cass. Actually, I hope everybody's happy. And I hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you celebrate, whatever you do. If the weather's nice, get out and enjoy it. If it's not, catch a good movie or I don't know. But everybody have oh my God. I, I'm not laughing at your weekend. I hope everybody does have a good weekend and a happy Easter and whatever it is you celebrate. And, remember, it's really not all about Cadbury eggs. Um, and I will see you guys around the tubes. Bye, guys.